Listen, Andy, the man is just about to say it.
Yeah, let's everybody listen.
Rinso, the new Rinso with Solium, brings you the Amos and Andy Show. Yes, sir, Rinso, the soap that contains Solium, the sunlight ingredient, brings you a full half hour of entertainment with Lou Lubin, Eddie Green, the Jubilaires, Jeff Alexander's orchestra and chorus, and radio's all-time favorites, Amos and Andy. And now, Lever Brothers Company, the makers of Rinso, invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy Amos and Andy. Well, the Kingfisher's wife, Sapphire, is all agog this morning. There was a letter in the mail from an old girlfriend of hers now living in California with her husband, inviting Sapphire and the Kingfish to come out and spend the summer with them. Sapphire is just telling the Kingfish the news.
So George, Gladys, Hop, and her husband are inviting us to come out to California for 3 months and live at their house, eat at their house, give parties for us, and show us all the sights. Ain't that some invitation, George?
Yeah, but you think them cheapskates would have the decency to send us to transportation?
Oh, don't be silly. Just think, 3 months in California. If we like it, we might even live out there. You know, they say out in California people stay young.
Yeah, well, what's the matter with New York? You've been 35 for the past 12 years.
George, you're impossible. When I think of Gladys Harper out in California with a nice husband, a beautiful home, and everything, you know, I could have married that Harold Harper myself. When he lived in New York, he proposed to me before he did Gladys.
He did, huh?
Yeah, but then it didn't look like he was ever going to amount to nothing, and Mama told me to wait. To wait till I could marry some man that was smart, shrewd, and ambitious.
And then I come along.
Yes, and I decided not to wait.
Yeah.
But about this invitation, George, I wouldn't have to buy no clothes because I got a few summer things from last year.
Yeah, what is you talking about going? We just got $90 saved up for our vacation. We can't get out to California and back on that.
George Stevens, don't you want a vacation, too?
Certainly I do, but let me...
Well, George, you better find some way to raise that fare, and I mean every word I'm saying. I was never more serious, and I'm telling you right now, right to your face, that if you don't raise the fare to California, I ain't going to talk to you all summer.
You know, that might be the nicest vacation I ever had. Well, that's the story, Henry, and my wife insists on me raising the fare to California.
Well, I understand it's beautiful out there. My society friend, Mr. J. Wadsworth Van Pelt, takes his family out to the coast every summer.
That must cost him a pile of money.
On the contrary, it don't. You see, Wadsworth has got a dear friend in the trucking business, and him and his family always go out with a load of furniture.
Yeah, well, they get there all right, huh?
Yes, but of course, they've got their little problems, too. They always have to find a load with a piano in it so the children won't miss their practicing.
Well, the thing
Wait a minute. Here comes Lightning.
Oh, excuse me, Brother Kingfish. This telegram come from Mr. Andy, but he ain't around no place. Might be reporting.
Well, open it up, Lightning, and read it.
Yeah. It's just Andrew Brown. Say, your raffle ticket number 1578 won first prize in the annual Jersey City Businessmen's Club raffle. Our representative will call on you to arrange delivery of the prize, a brand new 1948 Plymouth Roadster. It's signed the awards committee.
Andy won a Plymouth Roadster?
No, me, the lucky stiff. If only I was the one that won that, me and Sapphire could wait a minute. Look, Lightning, take that telegram and burn it up and don't say nothing to nobody about it, especially Andy. Otherwise, you're going to get in trouble. Now, get on out of here.
Yeah, sir, I'll whiz right on out.
Kingfish, if I follow you correct, you was about to sing California, Here I Come.
Now, look, Henry, old pal, if I can just get that raffle ticket away from Andy, me and my wife can drive out there. Let's see, Andy don't know that he's won the thing yet.
Yes, but it ain't going to be easy getting that raffle ticket away from him. After all, he paid his good money for it.
Wait a minute. Good money. Suppose he paid bad money, Henry. I got an angle. I'll convince Andy that he passed a counterfeit dollar bill when he bought the ticket.
Kingfish, you was as good as on your way. If you get stuck for luggage, I got a couple of nice suitcases.
Leather suitcases?
Well, they look like leather, but they is really stimulated alligator.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just got to convince Andy that he done passed a counterfeit bill. Oh, I think I hear his flat feet sloshing down the hall now. Now I got to let him know in a subtle way that I is the T-man. Come in, Brown.
Hi, Kingfish, hi. Say, what is that card with a big T on it you got stuck in your hatband?
Andy, I didn't mean for you to see that. I only wears that when I was alone.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't mean to bust in on you when you had a T in your hat. I'll make believe I didn't see it if you want me to.
No, I might as well confess. Andy, I is a T-man, and you, Andrew H. Brown, is wanted by Uncle Sam.
Now, just a minute. They can't take me in the Army. I already served 3 years with the WPA.
And I is with the Treasury Department. Brown, you may now consider yourself under arrest. You was one of the most dangerous counterfeiters in the country.
Who, me?
Yeah, that's right. You bought a raffle ticket 3 months ago, and you paid for it with a counterfeit bill. Why did you do it, Andy? Who is you working with? Let me see the rest of the money you got in your pocket there.
Yeah, well, here's a $5 bill. That ain't counterfeit, is it? Look at that picture of Lincoln.
Let me get my magnifying glass on that. Mm-hmm. Making fives, too, huh?
What you mean?
Andy, that ain't Lincoln. That's Raymond Massey.
Well, anyway, Kingfish, I didn't make that counterfeit dollar. And besides, I ain't got no more. I only passed one.
Andy, the government don't care whether you was a manufacturer, wholesaler, or retailer. They got you.
No, me.
Andy, before I slips the handcuffs on you, let me give you some advice. You picked a bad time, Andy, to start counterfeiting. Counterfeiting dollars is on the way out because of the high cost of raw materials.
Well, what's that got to do with it?
Well, they has figured it out that it costs $1.25 to make a counterfeit dollar bill. There just ain't no money in money these days.
Well, this is a mess.
Well, I guess I'll get on the telephone and call headquarters.
Wait a minute here. What can I do to get out of this jam, Kingfish? Couldn't you tell him that I was just a overage juvenile delinquent?
Wait a minute. Tell you what. You was my pal, and I want to help you. Give me the raffle ticket that you bought with the phony dollar, and I think I can fix things with you so you ain't got to go to jail.
Oh, Kingfish, you was a true friend.
That's okay, Andy, but don't tell nobody, because, well, if they find out that I use my influence for a friend, the head of the T-men, Sir Thomas Lipton, will fire me and take away my T-shirt.
You know, Kingfish, I just happen to remember I left that raffle ticket in my gray pinstripe suit that I sent over to the Amsterdam Avenue shelter where the bums go to get old clothes. I always gives them my suits.
Holy smoke. Without that raffle ticket, Andy, I can't do nothing for you. I tell you what, I'll think of something. You go on home.
Okay, Kingfish. Call me when you decide what to do. So long.
So long, Andy. I got to get that ticket so I can get that car. Then I can say,
California, here I come.
That will be the day when he is on his way.
I'm traveling on.
I'm traveling on.
Yes, I must keep a traveling.
Traveling on. Well, won't it be sweet?
Now,
Won't it be sweet to live on high? I'll ever be true. I'll ever be true. And I'll keep on a-traveling. Traveling on to a place I know. We'll make it there by. Make it there by and bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye. California, here I come. Right back where I started from. Open up that golden gate. California, here I come.
You hear that fellow whistling? He's traveling light. Ain't got a worry nor a care on his mind. Just easy living and a long vacation in sight. Traveling on. Traveling on.
I'm traveling on. I'm a traveling on. Traveling on to a place I know. We'll make it there by and by. By and by. By and by.
even in May and June, the nicest time of the year, you get rainy and gloomy days for quite a long stretch. So to be on the safe side, to be always certain of a perfect wash, be sure you've got new Rinso with Solium. Because with new Rinso, even if you dry clothes indoors, your wash will turn out shining and brilliant. That's right, Rinso. The new Rinso with Solium puts sunshine in any wash. It's because of Solium, the scientific sunlight ingredient, and only new Rinso contains Solium. Try Rinso. You'll be happy as a schoolgirl when you see what happens. White clothes actually come whiter than new, and washable colors brighter than new. Millions of women have found that out, and that's why more and more women every day ask for Rinso in the new box with the red Solium label. Next wash day, use safe, soapy-rich new Rinso.
Well, hello there, Shorty. How's the barbering business?
Oh, hi, Kingfish. Business has been so wonderful. The money is just rolling. I got more customers, and I know what. That is, you got. I lose my shirt.
Well, now look, Shorty. Andy done won a brand new Plymouth Roadster on a raffle ticket, and he done left the ticket in the pocket of an old suit, and he done sent over to the Amsterdam Avenue shelter. Now I can't figure out how to get the thing back.
Well, that's no problem, Kingfish. Just take Andy down to the shelter and represent him as a deserving man that needs a suit. They is always glad to help somebody that's down and out.
Yeah, that's just what I'll do. That's just what I'll do.
You know, Kingfish, I've been trying Raffle for years, and I ain't never won a single thing except once. I had a feeling, too, that I was going to get it that day. Yeah, there I stood with a ticket in my hand as the man reached down. He pulled out the number, and it was 605. I looked at the number I had there in my hand, and that was 605. Yeah, everybody ran over and congratulated me and slapped me on the back. It was very exciting.
Oh, well, that is great, Shorty. What did you get?
I got a completely furnished room house. I got a brand new 8-cylinder motor. It was a 32-foot cabin cruiser, a stove, a refrigerator. 4 years in the Army. Now, listen, Anna, before we go into the shelter here, you said the suit you give him was a gray pinstripe suit?
Yeah, I'll know the thing as soon as I see it.
Okay, now, I'll tell the man that you was just out of jail.
Yeah.
Then as soon as we gets the suit we was looking for, we'll take the raffle ticket out and then send the suit back.
Okay, let's go in. Hey, there's the man coming over to us now, Kingfish.
Oh, how do you do, man? My name is Jackson. Can I be of service to you?
Yes, Miss Jackson, thank you. Allow me to introduce ourselves. I is George Stevens, and this here is a deserving bum, Andy Brown.
How do you do? I meet many men in your condition, Mr. Brown.
Likewise.
You see, Miss Jackson, I happen to be a wealthy philanthropist, and while I was out today walking down the street, I was smoking a big Havana cigar, took a couple of puffs off the thing, and got a little tired of it, and I tossed it in the gutter, and it landed on Mr. Brown's head here.
You mean to say that he was lying in the gutter?
Yeah, but I jumped up as soon as the cigar burned me.
Then when Miss Brown here told me a sad story, I decided that he deserved help.
Well, Mr. Stevens, although Mr. Brown is entirely welcome here, why didn't you, as a philanthropist, help him yourself?
Yeah, Kingfish, why didn't you do that?
I retired from the racket about 5 years ago. You see, my heart couldn't stand the sad stories, and I ain't been able to philamp no more. That's the way it is.
Mr. Brown, what was the cause of your downfall?
Well,
You see, Miss Jackson, he was just decommissioned from prison, and he needs a suit.
the one I was wearing, you see, I borrowed from Mr. Stevens here, my benefactor.
You mean to say that you haven't got a suit to your name?
No, sir. On the day I was released, the warden gave me $10 and put me out in my underwear.
Well, I can't understand a warden releasing a man without a suit.
Well, the warden had a lot of confidence in my ability. He thought that before the day was over, I'd be able to steal one, you see.
You know, I ought to report that warden to the authorities.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't antagonize the jail official, Mr. Jackson. Brown here will no doubt just be back in there pretty soon. He's liable to make it tough on him, you see what I mean?
While you were in prison, Mr. Brown, did they work you pretty hard?
Oh, yes, sir. They worked, but he was in the jute mill.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't easy making them jute boxes, neither.
I wonder if you'd tell me the nature of your crime, Mr. Brown.
Crime, they accused my friend here of prefabricated murder. You see, he shot an innocent bystander on the street.
Yeah, it wasn't my fault that I shot him, though. I was aiming at the cop.
Well, Mr. Brown, the shelter is always happy to help a poor soul in need, regardless of his past. And if you'll just step over here, I'll let you have a suit.
Yeah, come on. What is you showing this year in gray pinstripes, Mr. Jackson?
Well, I'm afraid that Mr. Brown will have to take them as they come. Now, here's a blue serge suit. Try the pants on, Mr. Brown. If they fit, you'll have to take it.
Yeah. The seat of these blue serge pants look like they've been Simonized.
I am sure that the suit will fit you perfectly. You can't possibly find anything wrong with that outfit.
Well, so much for the business suit. Now, what can you show him in a sporty gray ensemble to wear at the pool room?
But you see, Mr. Stephen... pardon me, men. Somebody else just came in.
Yeah, sir. Hey, Kingfish, there's the pinstripe suit right there that I sent over here. See it?
Yeah, come on, quick. Let's get the ticket out the pocket.
Yeah, here. Here's the ticket. Here it is.
Oh, good. Give it to me. Lucky for you we found it, Andy. Now I better rush over to the tea department and see what I can do about killing the counterfeit charges against you. So long, Andy, and keep your fingers crossed. Well, now that I got the raffle ticket from Andy, I can just see me and Sapphire driving across the country to California in our new Plymouth Roadster. Hello?
Hello. This is Mr. Wilson of the Jersey City Raffle Committee. I'd like to speak to Mr. Andrew H. Brown.
Speaking.
Mr. Brown, as you know from our telegram, you won the raffle. And we would like to make the presentation this Saturday night at our regular meeting at Ajax Hall. Naturally, we want to get as much publicity out of the event as possible. So will you be there in person?
Yes, Miss Wilson, I'll be there. Thanks for calling.
Oh, goodbye, Mr. Brown.
Oh, me. There's going to be some publicity on this thing. I got to find some way to keep Andy from finding out what I was doing.
Well, nobody can say that old John Lake is backward about giving advice. And since we're getting into the time of year when people are going to get married by the millions, I'd like to give some advice to young brides. Honey, you start off right by stocking that new home with Rinso. Now, the chances are you've never washed a man's shirt or maybe even a tablecloth. So the first time you do, you show that husband of yours that you know how. Get white things even whiter than new, and washable colors even brighter than new by using new Rinso with Solium. And when your new mother-in-law comes to dinner, astonish her with the brilliance of your Rinso Sunshine Wash. Use safe, soapy-rich new Rinso, the only soap that contains the scientific sunlight ingredient, Solium.
Well, hiya there, Stonewall. Can I see you a minute?
Yeah, come in, Kingfish. I feel kind of blue today. Just had a fight with my best friend. And all over the question of ethics.
Ethics, sir? What happened?
Well, you see, this fella come to me and say he thought the girl he was engaged to was interested in another fella, see? And he wanted me to help him get the goods on her.
Oh, he did, huh?
Yeah, he wanted to tap her telephone wires and listen to her phone conversations. But as a lawyer, I told him that was underhanded and contrary to the concept of fair play.
Yeah.
But without telling me, he went right ahead and done it anyway. And he heard some very mushy conversation.
I see what you mean there. And you two split up because he disregarded your advice.
No, he recognized my voice.
What I come to see you about, Andy had the winning ticket on a 1948 Plymouth Roadster in a raffle. Now, I has already got the ticket from him, but now I done run into a Stonewall. Stonewall?
Yeah. Well, what's the trouble?
They're going to award the car at a meeting in Jersey City with a lot of publicity, and our friend Andy going to find out about it and going to ruin the whole thing for me.
Well, the thing to do is get Andy out of town till you get the car for yourself. That way he'll never be any wiser.
Get Andy out of town, huh?
Oh, yeah. You know, if I was you, Kingfish, I'd send him on a boat trip to some place like Cuba, you know. That way he couldn't change his mind and come back unexpectedly. You know?
Stonewall, you got a great idea there. Sapphire and me is practically on our way to California.
You know, I had a client once who was in a lot of prisons out there in California. You know? Yeah, he finally went in for life, but he worked out a perfect plan to escape. Yeah, you see, he knew that Alcatraz was entirely surrounded by water. See?
Yeah.
He said to himself, now, if he just gets to the top of the wall and dive off, everything will be all right.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, so he waited. He waited for a dark night, see, when most of the guards was at supper. He broke out of his cell, scampered up the wall, and dove to 60 feet. Halfway down, he realized his mistake.
What was that?
He forgot he'd been transferred to San Quentin.
Oh! Well, now I got to get Andy on that boat to Cuba. I'll tell them that they just discovered oil down there. Oh, yeah, he come now. I'll get on the phone here.
Hi, Kingfish.
Excuse me, brother Andy. I was just talking long distance on the phone here to Cuba.
Oh.
What was that you were saying there, Signor Corona? Yeah, well, I'll keep the whole thing quiet. We don't want to have no international reconcusion. Yeah, well, I'll talk to you later, Signor. Say hello to Signorita and all the little Signorettes. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. And a happy Babaloo and a Hasta Banana to you. Goodbye.
Kingfish, what you doing talking long distance to Cuba?
Well, the thing is supposed to be confidential, Andy, but I guess I can tell you. There's discovered oil in Cuba.
Cuba, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's squirting out all over the ground, all over the town. Yeah, just like them big geezers in Yellowstone Park. They're just flying together. Why, in one place, the stuff overflowed and dumped billions of gallons of oil into the Gulf Stream.
Oil in the Gulf Stream, huh?
Oh, yeah, last week, the Queen Mary tried to dock at Havana, hit the Gulf Stream, and skidded halfway to Brazil.
Oh, yeah, well, I guess the people in Cuba is making a fortune, huh?
Oh, yeah, Andy, if it wasn't my job as a T-man with the government, I'd be right down in Havana myself.
Well, you know something? If it didn't take a lot of money to drill for oil, I'd get down there, too. But you need too much expensive equipment.
Oh, not in Cuba, Andy. The oil is too close to the surface. Why, look at the way it was discovered down there by accident.
Yeah? How's that?
During a baseball game down there, a fella slid for a base with his spiked shoes on and brung in 3 gushes between second and third. It was the first time in history that a game was called on account of oil.
Well, tell me, how much money you think I could make in oil down there?
Well, in the oil business, Andy, you'll make a lot of glubs.
What is glubs, Kingfish?
Well, you know when you pour his oil out of a jug, how it goes, glub, 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 glub.
Yeah?
Well, at the current rate of exchange, 5 of them glubs is worth $40 in American money.
You mean if somebody gets a job down there, he gets paid off in oil?
Oh, yeah. The average workman gets 6 glubs a day with a glub and a half overtime. Yeah. Or when they mix the payroll out in Cuba, the noise is deafening down there.
Well, tell me this. Is there any good-looking gals down there?
Oh, plenty good-looking gals, Andy. See one on the street, you just say, Tico, Tico to you, mademoiselle. She'll Tico right back. And the next thing, you two will be in some swanky restaurant splitting a cucaracha.
Well, do they dance down there?
Oh, yeah, yes. You just in time for the annual petroleum festival, the Oily Gras. They have that down there. Yeah.
Well, listen, Kingfish, I'd like to go down there, but my money is tied up, and I can't afford to take that trip.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Andy. I has got $90 here that me and Sapphire has been saving for a vacation.
Yeah.
I'll give you this for your round-trip ticket to Cuba, and if you discover oil, we'll split 50-50.
Well, that's fair enough. That sounds like a fair proposition. I'll go.
Now, don't blab it around. Now, look, Andy, there's a boat that's leaving tonight. I'll go down to the pier now and get your ticket.
Okay.
Come in, Amos. I'm just leaving. Well, see you later, Kingfish.
Yeah, come on in, Amos. Come in here.
What's new, Andy?
Well, I'm making a trip to a secret place, and all I can tell you is that it's Cuba.
Cuba, what is you talking about?
Amos, I'm going to get me a cute-looking cucaracha with spiked shoes and split a old geezer at the oily grower. You know that?
Is you really going down there, Andy?
Oh, sure. Of course, I got to learn the Cuban language. I know 2 words already. Glub, glub.
What does that mean?
$40 in American money.
Just tell me one thing, Andy. Where'd you get the money for this trip anyway?
Well, Amos, the Kingfish is paying my fare. He done give me $90.
Well, then it's all right for you to go. This is the first time I ever heard of that Kingfish doing anything like that.
Yeah, well, in case I don't see you again, Amos, wish me a bum voyage. And you'll hear from me. When I gets down there, I'll drop you a mademoiselle.
And now, fellow members of the Jersey City Businessmen's Club, on behalf of the award committee, I'd like to present to you the holder of the winning ticket in our recent raffle, Mr. Andrew J. Brown.
Thank you. Yes, that's me, all right. Andrew Brown. That's me. Yes, I sure was Andrew Brown.
And now, Mr. Brown, it is my extreme pleasure to present you with the first prize in our raffle, a new 1948 Plymouth roaster, big enough to roast a 25-pound turkey.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our last broadcast this season, and we want to say goodbye. Until we return to the air again, we want to thank you all for listening.
You folks have been mighty loyal to us, and we deeply appreciate it. And we thank you, too, for your loyalty to Rinso.
We'll be back with you again in the fall, and we're going to do our utmost to give you the very best show that we can. In the meantime, the makers of Rinso have another kind of a show for you, and it's a great show. One we know that you'll enjoy. The name of it...
Call the police! Call the police! Call the police! Call the police!
Is that the name of it?
Yes, and it's the most exciting action show yet. Mystery, melodrama, and stuff like that. And it's good because it's realistic stories based on the way police operate.
Cutting down crime, huh?
Yes, sir. For a lot of thrills, you want to be sitting right at the same time next Thursday or next Tuesday for the big Rinso Summer Show.
Call the police!
In the meantime, we'll see you next fall.
Good luck to everybody, and thank you for everything from everybody here. So long.
Goodbye, everybody.
Here's great news. Doctors prove Lifebuoy Health Soap with its purifying ingredient gets skin cleaner, stops BO as no other leading soap can. Doctors compared Lifebuoy and other leading soaps in 820 tests. These tests prove refreshing, mild Lifebuoy gets skin cleaner, gives top 24-hour protection against BO. Get Lifebuoy right away.
No one can save used fats except you women who prepare meals, and that's why your government keeps asking you to save all used fats. Fats are a vital raw material, but there's a worldwide shortage of fats and oils. To keep the wheels of American industry humming, we must save all used fats. So save every drop, every scrap that you can. Keep them in a tin container and turn them in to your butcher regularly. Be sure to be with us next Tuesday at the same time when Lever Brothers Company, the makers of new Rinso with Solium, will present Call the Police. Until then, good night to all of you from all of us.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.